Hello folks, this is Anthony from Honda Snowblower Enthusiasts on Facebook and YouTube. Today I'm going to show you how I'm going to replace the oil on my HSS 928 snowblower. It only has 5 or 6 hours on it, probably no more than 10 hours, so the company suggests you change the oil. Before they put these in the crate, they run a break-in oil in the engine. I'm not sure how long they do, but then they drain the oil when they crate it up for transport to the dealers. And then when the dealer gets it, they put in regular Honda 5W30 oil in the engine. Now if you get it in the crate, the crate will have the oil with it, so be sure you put your oil in, before you start it, of course. But anyways, you're gonna run regular 5W30 oil in your brand new machine until it has at least 5 hours. Honda suggests 5 to 20 hours, and I think mine has less than 10. So I'm going to do that today. And I'm also going to install, or show you how to install, this is called a drains it hose. I'm going to install it on the engine to make oil changes in the future a lot easier and less messier. So I already warmed up this engine. You want to change the oil when the engine oil is warm. It doesn't have to be hot. Warm is good, so it facilitates with the removal of the old oil. And I ran it around the driveway a little bit too, and then I can shut it off and I can change the oil. So what I use, I've got this funnel that I cut out right here. I got this from the dollar store. I got this drain tub from the dollar store also. Now what you're gonna need on this side, you've got a drain on the other side, but this is the side you drain it on because it's got the extension. What you're gonna need is a 10mm socket, and you're also gonna need a 17mm wrench, or adjustable wrench, and this is 17mm, to hold the extension from also loosening up, okay? So let me loosen this up. Alright, I broke it free. Now I can put my I'll set this aside. Now I don't know what they make it. I'm gonna have to hold this. I think it's not gonna stay in there. It's not gonna stay up. Let's see if it'll stay up. Okay. It's probably gonna fall. I can also remove my dipstick. Which will introduce some air into the crankcase and let it drain easier. All right. It might stay. A lot of times it will fall out. But it's going to take a few minutes. I'll give it, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. And then on the other side of the engine, there's not a dipstick, but there's a drain plug on the opposite side of this engine. And that's how I'm going to remove that. So when I install the new oil, I know how much to install. Now on these newer HSS models, it's hard to use the other side. On the older HS models, I would put the the funnel on the other side, but in order to do that on this machine, I'd have to remove some of the pieces on the other side to access it better. But anyways, what I'm going to use Kirkland synthetic 5W30 oil. You can use regular Honda 5W30, or depending on your temperature range where you live, you could go up to 10W30. But I don't want to get in an argument with synthetic versus regular oils. The best thing you can do for a small engine is to have clean oil in it. So if you change your oil with any kind of certified, I think it's SAJ or better oil, you're gonna be fine. I just like synthetic oil because I get this fairly cheap at the Costco. I change a lot of oil in a lot of machines. Synthetic oil is slipperier. It lasts longer. It helps on the starting, especially if you have a pull start. The engine turns over more easy. So I like a synthetic, okay, but it's not totally necessary. Any kind of good oil. You'll have people arguing about different oil brands like Amsoil and Pennzoil and Quaker State and all kinds of oil. They're all good. You know, the main thing with me is have clean oil. That's the main thing. This engine only takes 1.16 quarts of oil. So to have clean oil in it, running in the engine all the time, it's just so much better for the engine. If you want longevity in your Honda GX engine, keep the oil clean. Now they recommend oil changes, I think it's like every 100 hours, anytime you service the machine. I like to change the oil at the end of the winter. I don't want to have contaminants in water sitting in the moisture, sitting in the crankcase over the summer. So I like to change the oil at the end of the winter before I put it in storage. So the reason why I'm changing it now is because I'm pretty sure that it's had its second break-in period of at least 5 to 10 hours. So I want to see what this oil looks like, okay? I'm almost done. Now let's look at this oil. You can see, I don't know if you can see it, folks, but it looks like I've been panning for gold. There's gold flakes in here. It looks pretty, but I'm glad I'm changing it. Now to install the drains it, which I'll provide a link so you can get one of these if you want to. It screws in, see? But you're better off taking the extension out. There's a thrush washer at the end. They recommend you change this. I'm not going to change mine. Sometimes if the machine's older and the oil's been changed quite a bit, I have a couple of these on hand that I can change. Now this has got an O-ring on the end of it. So let me see, will this thrush washer fit on here? Yes. And then I can screw it in. The nut on the end is 16 millimeter. I tighten that up. And then when I put the new oil in, this goes like this. Put the cover back on. I'll tighten that up with a 1/2 inch wrench. And then I can okay, so now it's out of the way. I can tie it up if I wanted to. If I get it like this, okay, it'll be out of the way. And then the next time I need to change the oil, all I have to do is release the hose, and the hose goes right into here. But I'm not going to install this today. I'm just showing you how to do it. I'm going to put the extension back in. But that's when you install it, you know, after you've drained all your oil, then you can install the drains in. Some people say, oh, you can tip the machine over, you know, and put the... Yeah, I guess you can do that. I've done that in the past. All right, I gotta tighten this up. Then I put my drain plug back in. It also has a thrush washer. Now I can install my oil. Now, like I said, it takes a little over a quart. I'm gonna look on the other side to see how close I am. Now you know when you're done is when the oil is at the end of the threads. That's when you've got it right. You don't want to overfill it, folks. It might take a little bit of trial and error. Have some patience. Need a little bit more. A little bit too much, huh? I put too much. Back in on both sides. Got my drain plug tight. Brand new oil. All right, let's start it up. Okay, so that's how I change the oil. After I'm done with the oil, I'll run it around. I'll run the machine around a little bit, bring it back into a nice level spot like right here. You know, the bucket's down to the floor. And then I'll check the oil again, just to double check and make sure I don't need any more. Usually I need a little bit of more, you know, because when you circulated the oil by running it, it might be a little bit low, so you might have to add a little bit more all the way to the end of the threads, and then you're good to go. So I hope this helps you. I'll put a link for the drains it in the description in the comments of the video if you're interested in installing one of these, which is pretty nice. I mean, instead of having to use the you know, use the funnel all the time or a makeshift funnel or whatever, you've got something already installed here that all you have to do is release, and then it just goes out into your collection tub. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.